Welcome back to another trade recap. Got 3 trades to show today. 2 on gold, 1 on BTC. Predominantly gold first, because that's the idea of this sort of progression series. Currently today we tried to take 2 trades on gold. So the first one was a loss, and the second one didn't get triggered into it, but that was the target. We'll go through both of these setups right now. So jumping into the Discord, go to the Discord here. You can see start of the day today, leaning bullish today. We're looking to frame a reversal at 50% discounted liquidity or buy side liquidity. So I was looking to frame a discount, frame a long from this green line, this liquidity here, or buy side there, and BTC level, look at that after. So the SSL was taken first from that period, so I expected a reversal down to this consequent encroachment, where we can then look to trade a long afterwards. So that's my target. Obviously you'll see we came up, we got a bit of manipulation first before we came down to that level and got stopped out of the trade, but I'll show you why I entered the trade. Going on to we're still on the 3 minute. We've got this breaker here, but in terms of this move here, that lines up with the 5 minute candle nicely, as you see there, that whole candle. And going on to the 3 minute, so we wicked above it to make a new high, then we came down and we had this little fair value gap just here, which I plan to short from, SL with the high down to the consequent encroachment. I think the liquidations were from this high here as well, and this high, but predominantly this high between 0 and 5. So I was looking to take them liquidations out in reverse, but instead we just had a bit more of a pump up than expected. So for the second trade, we came down to the consequent encroachment, just at the 50%, and as we came down here, made that low, we had this bullish breaker here, and inside that bullish breaker we had this fair value gap. So similar to BTC yesterday, we were very close to getting entered into that trade, but again the wick falls just to there, entry was there, so a bit of an unfortunate one. That was a high risk reward trade. Apologies, I've drawn the breaker wrong, that's why the SL's there. This was the breaker. Using that breaker, we got that entry and that stop loss TP towards these highs. We had a bullish bias anyway, so our target would have been to these highs, and if we didn't see this breaker here, we could have took it at this level or even this level here, but the bias came in right, which managed to get into them 2 trades. So moving on to BTC, the trade we got on BTC today is here. So if I just go back to this channel, I'll put this on 1 hour so you can see what I was looking at. If I go back to the channel, see it on here, you can see the start of the day today. I had this level as my key area, and if we go back there now and look why it's the key area, we've got drawing a volume profile for Saturday. Let me just get a volume profile then. Saturday from midnight till Sunday midnight, I believe it was. Here we've got a daily point of control here. The value area high ends up here, so that's where the top of level went to. But then also using volume, anchored volume at this level. It's changed a bit now because we've been here, but when we were back here, I can actually emulate that, just using the fixed range again. So yeah, using the fixed range, emulating that same volume we was looking at before when we were here. We can see there's a spark of volume just at the top here. The POC's down here, but we weren't interested in the POC, we was looking at where there's volume around this area, because this area also lines up with the 25% fib retracement from this whole level, so it's in a discount, premium, sorry, ready for short. Discounts down here. Obviously when we came down, our target was towards this area here, which we tapped perfectly, but I wanted to front run it a bit because it's the end of the fair value gap just stops there. I went just before that, in case we didn't quite get the bottom of it. So it was a nice TP aimed for, and then we went to enter the trade. If I go now to the 5 minutes, get rid of these lines again. As I came to enter the trade, you can see here, we'll go into the higher first. You see on the 15, this is what I was originally looking on. We've got, let me get the paintbrush. We've got this scoop of momentum. Put it into a brighter colour so you can see it. Make it a bit thicker. We've got that scoop of momentum starting to come down. Then we had this other scoop of momentum at the time was lower. We'd printed that red dot, creating the divergence between that high and that high on price. And also the money flow was higher green here than it was over here, which also was better for us. It's a money flow divergence along with a momentum divergence, so that was nice for the 15 minute. Went on to the 5, and on the 5 minute we've got the same thing anyway, a bit more exaggerated. But then actually looking into the 5 minute, that's why I was pricing to take this high here. We started to create a bit of a breaker there, but with no real structure inside of it. As I already had the bias of short, because we've wicked that level, I could allow myself to go to these lower time frames. Checked on the 3 minute, I could still see this break as a bit more evident. But then I went down to the, I think it was the 1. Yeah, so on the 1 minute, along with them breakers, I could see we had the breaker structure and an inverted fair value gap to retest there. So as soon as we broke the structure and retested that fair value gap, which I'll draw in from there to there, and then we've got that breaker structure there. As soon as we wicked it here, we started to reject. Just entered the market. I'd have liked to do a trigger, but did a market, and the SL was above. Let me just check what the SL was. Here it is. The SL was, oh no, the SL was originally there. Sorry, if we go back and have a look. Here, just above that bearish breaker on the 5 minute. So if you go to the 5 minute, check the bearish breaker. Yeah, the SL was just above that candle there. So that was the original aim for the trade with partials 50%. I think it was a 50%. Let me check. Yeah, so as soon as we entered the trade, looked to take partials at a 2 risk to reward. Took some partials there and aimed the rest down to the key level I had for long. I didn't actually put this in the group this morning, but I'll show you quick now. Which also lines up with them high time frame confluences. Just gonna, it's not letting me grab the bottom, I'll just do it like this. From that high to that low, and draw the fib. And we can see this line here, it's exactly where it dropped to. I do use an extra one on top of this. Let me enable that quick time. 0.65. 65. And you can see in that area there is where I'm primarily going to be looking for longs, which also lines up with the volume. Did at the time anyway. We've got a little bit of volume spike in here where we came exactly down to, so that would have been my key level for a long. Plus with the daily MPOC from yesterday on there. I didn't take this long because I didn't draw it in for the group, but I was keeping my eye on this area. Hence the TP here, Sunday till here. So you see we've got that POC there. So our area would have just been here, possibly down to here. But I'd prefer to do it to the POC. So that would have been our area. If we were going to put the long level in this morning, but we didn't. So it actually bounced quite nice from that area. I could have looked for a long there, but I didn't. They're just the 3 trades I caught today. There's been a lot of BTC today, I know, but the gold trade, one of them failed and the other one didn't get triggered. So that's been it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, catch you next time.